Hope you're having a nice Saturday. I'm going to try and get this video out for tomorrow. I've just literally filtered and pin washed the Challenger, and this is just a video on how I did it to make it look a little bit more like a model. And it's surprising what that does to a tank, a 1/16 RC tank when you do this stuff. That angle I think looks cool, don't you? I'm tempted to put some lenses in the lights for him. Shouldn't be too hard. I've got to stop it. This is because he keeps asking me to make it exactly like mine with all that stuff, and I know it doesn't look, but it's a bit different, a little bit, but not massively. I mean, you know, I've got, and these are just the molded ones, but you know, oh yeah, and I did all that, which is, all of this on the Heng long one is all in the wrong place. Anyway, so yeah, so I did a pin wash, and if you can see, it just brings out the detail more and it makes it look more like a model. And then when I was getting the wash off, what you can do is, if you drag it downwards, it can sometimes make it look like a little bit of rain streaking as well. So I think she looks cool. Oh, and do you guys want me to weather this? Like I've done to the Leopard, or that. And I'm getting onto this, but I'm just waiting for it to all dry. And I had a disaster with that. I accidentally glued the gun recoil with Maskell, which was really stupid. So I had to take the entire turret apart. I might put that in this video, actually, to show you how I took the turret apart. But it might be a bit of a rambling video. And yeah, so just it's how I washed and pin washed that. And like I say, if you want me to weather it, then let me know, and I will. But I was just going to keep it like this, and we're going to take it out to some muddiness, because that's what Harry wants to do. We've done it before with his Sherman and stuff. As long as you don't let water get up here. Up to about here, it's fine. It doesn't do much. But if it goes up higher, it can go in to the turret ring. There's a chap who does that online, and he puts it through massive puddles and stuff, and water falls and all the rest of it. Well, basically what he's done is he puts nail varnish on the back of the boards. He literally covers the electronic boards in nail varnish. So he puts it, and that's why it waterproofs them. And then as soon as he's finished, he takes the tank apart and gets like one of those cheap blower things, and he blows it all out. I think if you ever watched Tom Lee, he does the same with his cars. But yeah, but if you've not got one of those and you haven't done that, I wouldn't put these through very deep water, because you could add up massive issues. All right, look, let's go on with this video. I'm going to cut down the actual washing of it and to some pertinent parts. And then I think, you know, I took some pictures at the end of it. But you can't see them all now, but I quite like that. And you know, thank you whoever who sent this for Harry. I appreciate it immensely, and he loves it to bits, which is why I'm doing all this stuff on it, because he really wants it to look like Daddy's, which is a bit of a pain. It's not really. It's quite cool. I've quite enjoyed doing this. I shouldn't say that because it's Harry's toy, but it's not a toy. Oh, come on, they're all toys, aren't they? We love playing with toys. We've never grown up. Come on. Anyway, look. Let's get on with the video. I might, if you want me to put up a small video of how I took that turret apart, then comment for me, and I'll do it for you. Okay, I've got the film, but I wasn't sure if it was worth putting up. And we'll get on with this. Look, have a nice weekend, and I will see you. Well, there's my finger. I will see you for the next installment of something next week. I don't know what. I've got a 360 turret slip ring coming from this, because Harry also wanted it 360 as well, because that's what mine does. Except this is better than mine now, because the elevation and depression is way better. I'm sorry about the live video showing you about the battery box, because again, that was too short to put into anything, so I thought that's the best way of doing it. Anyway, let's get into the video, shall we? Whee! I just thought I'd quickly show you how you put this on. I've given it a good shake, and this is brand new. So I can't find, if you can get yourself, I think my kids have nicked it, you know, like a teardrop paintbrush. You don't want to put them on like that, because that will leave lines. You want to try and do it like that. So let me just quickly show you. I'd normally decant this, but so it's that. If you do it that way, it shouldn't leave lines. And always try stuff out on the bottom of your tank first, because if you don't and it goes wrong. But this seems a bit thick, much like the man who runs this channel. Can you see that's the? I'm going to give it a go. Can I show you, if I do it this way, that's not the best example, you can't really see that, but there, do you see? It leaves lines. If you do this, it shouldn't, but if you have a big teardrop paintbrush, it should work better. Yeah, I think this might be a bit thick, but this is brand new. It's brand new, so let me decant some of this and I'll see if I can thin it down a bit. Yeah, sorry, stop fiddling. Try and, just seems a bit, I don't know. You can, some people put it on with an airbrush. I wouldn't do that because it's a bit scary. Because the airbrush, when it blows it on, it dries it. Let me decant that and we'll crack on. But can you see it's changed colour ever so slightly of the green? And it's kind of blended both together. Let's crack on with the top of the tank and then we'll carry on from there. And we'll see if it works. And if it hasn't, I'll show you ways of doing it so you can try and correct it a bit. See, it's, yeah. And what you can do, if it's pulled, is you can just use a bit of kitchen roll to help out. And I'll show if it's gone wrong. I need to make these myself, you know. I think MIG stopped using these. Look at the bottom. That paint separated. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. We'll see what happens. All right, let's try it on the top now. I got this brand new, this MIG, and I started using it straight out of the bottle. But can you see it's worked more like weathering? A filter should be this. So basically, it's gone off a bit in the bottle, and the pigment's turned too much into paint. It should just be literally like a wash, like a complete glaze, and it shouldn't form this, and it shouldn't go around details. That's not what it's there for. So just be really careful with it. Make sure you mix them up, and then you know what, when they get old, I just put them in another bottle and then add 50% more enamel thinners, because I think that's the only way. I'm gonna have to go over it now to sort out anywhere where it's a bit streaky. If I like the streakiness and it looks like weathering, I'll keep it, but if not, yeah. The other thing you can do if you've got brush strokes, if you just get a bit of kitchen roll and dab it over the top, the filter should be very fine. See, look, it shouldn't do that. So you literally just rub it off. But try and get rid of the brush strokes. You can do it with kitchen roll. Alright, so I think that looks kind of acceptable. But it's not a weathering device. This isn't to put streaking and stuff on. If it's streaking, it's gone off. And I have my doubts about it because it pulled in the bottom. And when it separates like that, that's probably been in that bottle a long time. But so I did the barrels and I thinned it down myself, and you see you can't see any lines. It just goes on like a glaze. You see there's no marked lines or anything because it just glazes over it. Yeah, it's not about introducing definition of detail. It's just to modulate the paint colour. Now do you see I've used the kitchen roll on it? It's got rid of all the paint brush lines. And it's done what I want to. Can you see in areas it has lifted the colour a little teeny bit? So I thought this was a bit too dark. That's why I got a tan one. I should just start making the damn things up myself. It's just enamel thinners and enamel paint. And it's just got to be really thin. The thin's fine because you can always go over and do it again. I'm going to try something nuts. I'm going to try and just blow some enamel thinner over it. Blending it. Never know. But when these go dodgy, these things, it's a pain up the arse. I should have checked it more, but it's brand new. Normally you worry about this when they're not brand new. So I'm just going to keep on with that and we'll see if it helps. Right, I think that actually did help a bit, because blowing on the enamel thinner helped get rid of some of the brush lines and level the paint a bit that was already on the tank. So I think that's all right, but it really should be really thin, like a glaze. I'm just doing the pin wash now. That's better. That's basically that. So it runs. You want it to run like that. If it's too thick again, or it's got a bit thick in the pot, add some enamel thinner. Okay? And then when it's dried a bit, you can touch this all up. So I'm doing. Just doing that. Yeah, I won't show you the whole thing of this because you'll be bored out your brains. But then once this is dried, you can then go over it again and redo it and tidy it up. So just trying to get it around all the details. And it should just flow. If it's runny enough, it should just flow. You can see that. Now let me get on with this. I'm probably not going to weather this. I'll let Harry do that by using it. Let's try a big one. See how it works? See how it go down? There we go. And it just hopefully brings out the detail a bit more. Yeah, then you correct it later. Let me get on with this and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So there's a few ways to remove it. You can either get a brush, slightly dampen in odorless thinners and get rid of it that way. Or wait till it's dried a bit and you can literally just rub it off with a Q-tip. And then if there's anything that's a bit more on, you can use the odorless thinner and get it back off again. Let me crack on so I don't, it's all drying on, then I can't get it off. And when you are moving it off, always do it in downward movements. Mainly being is, if you don't get all of it, can you see it starts to look like streaking? But can you see the difference in the tank now? It's starting to look more like a model because of the pin wash. And yeah, so you just remove it. You know, you can leave it, but I wouldn't leave it overnight. You need to be able to get it, you know, off. And I should have let the filter dry a bit longer, but too much, it's Harry's tank, so. But normally if you got any sense, leave a filter for at least 48 hours to really dry, or else that'll come off with the pin wash. Right, everybody, that's the pin wash done. And also the filter. Now if you've noticed where I've done the pin wash and I've cleared it, I've made sure that I've stroked downwards with the brush or the cotton bud on the sides, because it also just gives you a bit of extra weathering. But the filter shouldn't do that. See the barrels at the back? So it just brings out the detail. I've not completely done with the wheels yet. I want those to dry. But I think you can see that it does make a difference. And it just brings out the detail a bit more. So, if you can see, I've still got to do the wheels. I've got to tidy them up a bit, but can you see how much more it brings out the detail? And then, yeah, it's just makes it a bit nicer. Okay, well look, hope you enjoyed this video. And that's how you filter and pin wash something. But I feel like I've covered this before, so I hope I'm not boring you all. But can you see it just also modulates the colour again? And it just gives it a little bit more depth and starts making it look more like a model than a toy. Anyway, look, nice week. I will see you for the next instalment of the Crusader, but I'm slightly worried about that because every one of these washers and pin washers I've got that are brand new, they're a bit grainy. So I'm wondering if MIG is just going off onto acrylic washers and stuff now. I don't want to use acrylic, that scares me. Acrylic dries really quickly. This I can still get off in the morning. It'd take a good 2 days just to properly set. Anyway, I'll leave that there and I'll shut up. Look, have a nice week. If you like this, subscribe because it's really useful for the channel and it's free. Everybody says it now, so I might as well. And it really does me a favour. And if you like it, that'd be fab too. And comment in the bottom now if you think this is a complete waste of time and you've just spent the last 20 minutes of your life watching something that didn't help you. Look, have fun, and I'll see you soon. Bye.